Swansea this, Swansea that, Swansea the other. And I know we have done in this little preview, but you've got to be winning this game, Danny boy. Right, everybody, it's Swansea. Hope you're all doing fantastically well. It's the weekend's match. How are we feeling leading up to this one? We've got a transfer video coming very soon, everybody. We've got a load of people new to the Patreon as well. Shout out to all of you guys. Make sure you're checking out the sponsor for this video as well, IPM Group UK. I have watched Daniel Farke's press conference, so you don't have to. He does waffle on a bit, doesn't he? But we're going to get into it right now. We're going to be speaking about Ramani. We're going to be speaking about injuries. We're going to be speaking about Isaac Schmidt, Swansea, the difference that the Swansea manager has brought when he's come into the side, which has been vast, to be quite honest with you, their recent run in form, and what Leeds can do this weekend to combat the Welsh side. So guys, I didn't want to be saying this, but it looks like Isaac Schmidt is going to be out for this one. He's had a minor surgery on his hernia over the international break, which means that he is going to be sidelined for this one, which means that Sam Byram is going to be playing at left back. And I feel, look, it's okay, I guess. Firpo obviously still being out. Everybody will know this. I just feel that Isaac would have brought something a little bit different. I loved what I saw from him in the last game against QPR, but it feels like with Leeds, it's just the consistency, isn't it? You started to see absolute wonder strokes from Ramazani immediately. Injury. You know, you started to see Ethan Ampadu in that central midfield bracket at the start of the season. Immediately injured. It just feels like we always have this injury curse just hanging over us. But Sam Byram's going to be in there this weekend. It's going to bring a different dynamic. I'm not going to get away from that fact. I think Sam, as I've spoken about on this channel before, enjoys inverting. I think, look, he's a little bit just ability stricken when it comes to going on his left side and delivering some quality products. So I think that's going to hinder Leeds United a little bit more. Why? Swansea are a very, very well set up side under Luke Williams. It's literally a goal either way in every single game, and they were so unlucky to lose against Burnley the 94th minute, a Jay Rodriguez penalty. So unlucky. But if you look at their last 5, last 6, last 7 games, it is a goal either way. So it's going to be difficult for Leeds United to unlock this Swansea side. We've seen that Leeds United are almost begging out for a central attacking midfielder at points this season to unlock that low block, to create something for the overlapping and underlapping fullbacks, of which can maybe free up space in that middle on that penalty spot for someone like Matteo Joseph or an arriving Joel Peru. Leeds are not going to have that in this game. So we've got to figure out a way of getting through this Swansea City side. Are they similar to Millwall? Are they the Welsh Millwall? No, they're not, and let me tell you why. Luke Williams has developed a side who are very, very good in possession. They have an excellent back structure. Ben Cabango, who I've spoken about Leeds going for on this channel the last 3 years, you know, previous really. They've also got Harry Darling back there, key at the back as well. But the big one is Vigouroux in net, who I've spoken about on this channel before, previously of Burnley. And already this season, Lawrence Vigouroux, has saved Swansea 4 goals. Goals prevented, 4 goals. And he's in the top 3-4 statistics of every goalkeeper in this division. And as I always say on this channel, everybody, if you've got someone between the sticks who is very, very good, very decent at this level, it breeds confidence in the defence, it breeds confidence in the side, and ultimately, you're going to get results from that. Now, what I quite like about what Williams has done with Swansea is, really, stylistically, he's not done anything different when he's taken charge, really. System-based wise, it looks very, very similar. But what he has done is really put a relatively young squad together at Swansea. And all he said at the time was, look, you're going to have to wait and you're going to have to be patient. These young lads take their time to get into these sorts of fights and get into the championship calendar. It's difficult, but when they get into it, they'll start to thrive. Maybe we should take that sort of mindset with some of our younger players who maybe aren't firing on all cylinders at this moment in time. But that's what Luke Williams has said. And right now, they've really started to come to the fore and get some really decent results as well. Very recently beating Watford at home, getting some good draws as well in there, but also getting themselves to, from nigh on the bottom really, to getting themselves to 12th in the form table. It's been a good little period for Swansea. It's going to be a difficult one for Leeds to crack. Now, their home form, they sit 12th in the division. The last 2 notable results at home for Swansea have been a 1-0 loss to Millwall and a 1-0 win over Watford. Liam Cullen is one to keep an eye on, everybody. He is starred for the Welsh side on Tuesday. Listen, he was unbelievable, Liam Cullen, that game, and he's going to be on a little bit of a peak. He got a brace, didn't he? and you've got to keep an eye out for him. He's going to be decent in this game, and he's one to look out for, 100%. Josh Key is someone to keep an eye out for Swansea. He's on their right-hand side, and when I was watching the game against Burnley, he was absolutely fantastic on that right-hand side, offering a real attacking outlet. Now, we know with Swansea that they're a very, very high possession-based side, so on that right-hand side means they are combating against our left-hand side, of which Sam Byram is going to be the target. So Byram's going to have to be on his toes defensively, but he's going to have to be looking over his shoulder as well, because they are not adverse to playing that switch ball over the top as well, which against Burnley they were trying all the time. Josh Key on that right hand side was unbelievable for Swansea and was very, very unlucky to be on the losing side. And as we say, everybody, when you focus in on Leeds United, Leeds have not struggled as such, but against those low blocks, which you don't expect Swansea to do against Leeds, it could actually elevate us in terms of the side, because they're going to come to win. They're going to come to play possession-based football. They are just behind Leeds United in the possession stats of this season so far. It's going to pose a different problem for Leeds United, because don't get me wrong, we have to be aware on all fronts, but when they're coming forward as well, Leeds United have to be aware that they're going to come forward, they're going to target some of our weaknesses, which I believe is going to be that left side, and I think Luke Williams is going to be smart enough to target that left-hand side with Sam Byram there, and obviously with their outlet of Josh Keys on that side as well, being supplemented by potentially like Liam Cullen drifting over there, or Bianchini. So there's a lot that needs to be discussed here. There's a lot that needs to be highlighted. But Leeds have got to be aware, not only going forward, but they've got to be aware at the back for this one, because Swansea are going to come to win. And Leeds United, what do we do for this one? Well, I've mentioned about Matteo Joseph. I've mentioned the style of which Leeds United need to really start getting into for this one. For me, guys, I would go quite bold and I would drop Brendan Aronson for this one. I will put Joel Peru in the number 10. I'll put Matteo Joseph in that number 9. And the reason behind that is because I think Leeds need a little bit more cuteness going forward at this moment in time, especially away from home. Listen, I'm not a massive fan overall of Joel Peru. I think there can be problems there, but what he can do is pick out a pass. And I think if Sam Byram is able to get forward, which I think might be a little bit of a problem in this game, but if he is able to get forward and cultivate some chances on that left-hand side, you have to have someone in that cam position who's going to be able to thread that pass through. We need someone in that position who is going to create big chances, not only be a goal threat in terms of putting the ball in the back of the net, which we know Joel Peru can be. But I've said that you should start him on the bench, but for this one, you need someone to unpick that lock. Not only have I mentioned previously that Swansea are a good possession-based side and they're going to cause Leeds problems in terms of coming forward, and we should be able to hit them on the transition, you'd hope, but they have a really, really good defensive structure. So what Williams has been able to do is sort them out at the back, but he's also made sure that they keep the ball for long periods of time so they can create space in the opposition's half. But what I want with Joel Peru is to really be able to thread the ball through, see those distinct passes of which maybe a Brendan Aronson wouldn't see, and really highlight our overlaps and our underlaps and hit that byline so Matteo Joseph can score those goals, of which he's scoring consistently for the Spanish under-21 side. And that's something Daniel Farke has to figure out. Why is this team not hitting the byline as much as they were in pre-season? And it's been a problem, especially when you're looking at Matteo Joseph's service. Shots per 90, XG per 90, expected goals on target, expected goals per 90, goals and assists. Joel Peru is top of all of these charts. So you're probably all screaming, well, Connor, you've got to start him in the number 9. For me, guys, it is more than that. I keep saying this consistently. I keep saying that I believe across the board, Matteo Joseph is a more complete striker in terms of hold-up, physicality, athleticism, a press. I think there's more to his game, especially in an away game, which is going to facilitate Leeds United. But Joel Peru, just in behind him, is still going to cause such a massive attacking threat. And I just think he has the weight of pass and the awareness just a little bit above Brendan Aronson at this moment in time, who I feel is just a little bit inconsistent, especially away from home. And guys, this is what I'm talking about when it reverts back to Sam Byram, because I want Leeds to attack in this game, and I think the best way of doing that is for our fullbacks to be involved in this game. I think the big issue right now is Sam Byram's maybe crossing accuracy. If we just look at FootMob, his chances created is 0.57. His long ball accuracy is 21% in the red zone. His successful crosses is 0.29, and his cross accuracy is 20%. That is very, very low markers and gives a little bit of an indication to you guys as to why you almost need Junior Firpo in there or an Isaac Schmidt, but we can't do anything right now, and I think it will affect Leeds down that left left-hand side, it's also going to put a lot more impetus on the player who's on that left-hand side. And let's get into the next person that we need to talk about really when it comes to availability. So Ramani is going to be on the bench for this one and probably the next 3 games or the next 2 games in the period that we have, everybody, which is jam-packed. That's good news for Leeds United. Him just being available is a massive plus, but he's not going to be on the grass. I don't think Daniel Farke, by his uttering, it doesn't seem that he's going to be fit and available for the next 3 to be starting at least. So then it poses the question, what do Leeds United do? Is it time for Manor Solomon, who had a really good international break when it came to his Israeli side? Is it going to come to Dan James and Willie Gnonto? What's going to happen there? What would you guys do going forward for Leeds United? I'm fascinated to hear what you think. Let me know your score predictions in the section below. I'm going to go with a 2-1 Leeds United win, and it's must needed. But after the period that we've had away from home, everybody, 3 draws and a loss, Daniel Farke is peddling some not excuses, but he's saying, look, Swansea this, Swansea that, Swansea the other. And I know we have done in this little preview, but you've got to be winning this game, Danny boy. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. It's been an absolute pleasure, everybody. Head on over to the Patreon. I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.